Brothers and sisters, thank you for joining me for part 6 on creation balance. And this has to do, this is an extended part of the video that I did on the womb and the cleansing process. So I'm going to show you this really quick one more time in case you haven't watched the other videos, but I encourage you to go back and watch them for yourself so that you understand what has been being taught. So I talked in the last teaching about the cleansing of the earth and this fire, and that everything held within the earth for the last 7,000 years has to be cleansed. She's been holding all of this, all of the wounds of the earth, and it's time for a new heaven and earth to be created. So the cleansing must happen, and that happens through this fire. So that we can understand that aspect of it. What happens at the end of a 7,000 year period when a new heaven and earth is being created? So they've had me speak on this before, and I'm going to elaborate because now it just ties back in together with what they've been having me give. So I have shared in the past that we will see the ugliest in people. Why is that? It is because everything that the earth has been holding, all the traumas, the hurt, the sexual sin, the gender confusion, I mean, all of it, right? She can't hold it anymore. It's not her job. It's the people's job to go through their cleansing process. And the fire, right? It's the cleansing is the purging and the fire, and facing those things so that because we are eternal beings, facing them so that those things do not get taken into the next kingdom with us. Okay, so with that, you are going to see the worst in people before you see the best in people. So so say it's with your children or your spouse or family members, right? You're going to see characteristics about them that are not becoming at all, and characteristics that you're like, I would never have signed up for that. That's not something that I even stand in agreement with. But that is standing in the perfected love of the healing process. They were with you through your fire, and whether they understood it or not, they were holding a space for you to go through your fire and your refiner's fire, and the purging and the healing and the rebalancing, all of it. And so if they held a space for you, just because their hurts and their traumas and the things that they have to overcome looks different, doesn't mean that when their things surface, that could be very hurtful and ugly, because you're going to go through the sting of some of what they are being purged out of them as well. You're going to feel some of that sting as well. But you're saying, I'll step into this fire with you, because it is helping them heal those traumas, those hurts, those pains, the things that they have held on to for the last 7,000 years. So may we understand more fully why we are seeing the worst in people, but as we extend that perfected love and truly love and learn to love the person as Father and Mother love us in that perfected love, as Yahshua loves us in that perfected love, that the healing process will happen. We're not there to shame. We're not there to judge. We are there to help and to be a support to that person through their process. Now, there is a difference between supporting and hindering. You do not want to hinder someone from their eternal progression. You don't want to hinder that. And as mothers, especially, we want to take on the pain of everything. And, Yahshua has repeatedly had to tell me that's his role. Let it go, trust him, let it go. He has them. And so that I don't step in and hinder their progression, because they are meant to overcome things here in this life. So if you are in a marriage and you have been through your healing process, or, the other person has been through their healing process and you're the one going through the healing process, there are things that are going to surface that person might not like at all. And it might be very, very difficult. But the true perfected love is realizing that that space was held for you to heal. And now it is your place to hold a space for them to heal. And it's important that both male and female heal. And this is part of, the journey of true kingdom union is not bailing when things get hard, not bailing when all of a sudden their stuff is now surfacing and you're like, I don't want any part of that. See the beauty in what's actually happening and why it's happening. Because if a new heaven and earth is being created, the last thing that we want to do is take the things of this world that were not in alignment, like patriarchal dominance and sexual sin and, all of it. And the last thing that we want to do is take all those things into another kingdom with us. We don't want to keep battling the same battles, kingdom to kingdom to kingdom. What we want to do is get out of the old timelines, those loops of the old timelines. We don't want to repeat those. We want to move forward. And so helping our spouses, our children, our parents, whoever it is, we were meant to be the light to help them. And understand that this fire, it's hard and it brings everything to the surface. It brings all the hidden things to the surface that have been kept secret for, many lives in a person, and even in this life for a person. So may we be the light to people and help see that this fire has to happen. And in order for the earth to be cleansed, right, she can't hold, like it says here, she can't hold the betrayal and traumas that hurts and sexual abuse and everything. She can't hold them anymore. They're being released from her. It's being released from the womb. And so in order for that healing process to happen, that has to take place. And you are going to see the ugliest and the worst and experience painful things. But if you are truly a helpmate, if you are truly in alignment with God and with Father and Mother and with Yahshua, you are literally stepping into the fire with that person saying, I'm willing to help you. And it's not to shame. It is not to judge. It is literally to have the earth go through the cleansing process that is meant to take place at this time so new heaven and earth can be created. So may we activate our heart center of love and compassion towards others and see that we were given God's grace to go through our healing process. Now it's our time to give grace for grace. And we now extend that grace to the next person on their journey of healing as they are taken through the refiner's fire. And so may we activate that love and compassion within us that is our very heart center, which is our very essence of the beauty that we were created with from Father and Mother that lives in them and they gave to their children. And it is beautiful and it is amazing. And it is that perfected love. Our heart center is that love and compassion that resonates from them to us. So food for thought. Have a glorious day.